Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Jason, and I'm here with another episode of Ask Dr. Jason. And so, first of all, I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who submitted a question and to my patients who've been coming in and also asked me questions in person. So today, we're going to answer the question, which part of your body is the most important or the most essential part of your body? I'd like to thank one of my patients who asked me this question, Allison. I really appreciate that. But again, if you have a question, leave it on our comment page on Facebook or on YouTube and we'll try to answer it. Okay? And so getting into the question, what is the most important or the most essential part of your body? What is the one thing that you want to have working at 100% to make sure you are healthy and alive and vibrant? We could ask that question, and I do ask that question to a lot of patients, and I get many different answers. We get things like the heart, maybe it's your lungs, and even your brain. Those types of things are most common answers. Now, I used to tell patients that it's really your brain which is the most important, and a lot of people probably will argue with me that it still is, because it is, without a doubt, one of the most essential parts of your body. Without a working brain, nothing else even matters. But today what I'd like to actually say is there's something that's almost more important than your brain, if you will, and that one thing that I'm talking about that's more important is the power or the electricity, if you will, that keeps your body alive. And so the reason why I'm back here into the storage area today filming this is that I thought I would use the circuit breaker that controls my office to help you understand and to illustrate my point about why the electricity that runs your body is the most important and most essential. Okay, so let me go ahead and open this up here. So when you open up a circuit breaker, we know how these work. I flip a switch and it'll either turn on or turn off power to a certain area of my office. Now it might turn off power to a light, it might turn off power to an outlet. We don't really know, but we know it's going to affect the power somewhere, okay? And so just like your brains have certain parts of them that relay messages to certain areas of your body, okay? So when you have a thought, a certain area of your brain lights up. If you eat a food and it stimulates your brain, a certain part of your brain lights up. So your brain is a relay center and it sends signals to and from your body, and each part of your brain is different, just like the circuit box. Okay, so if I throw this light off right here, I just turned off some lights in the front. If I throw this light off here, all the lights and the electronics in my bathroom no longer work. And I think you guys understand that. Okay, so here is my point. Why is the electricity more important than your brain? Why is the power that keeps you alive more important than your brain? Well, let's think of it like this. If we were to show up to the scene of a car accident and somebody happened to pass away in this car accident. So if I show up to somebody who's been pronounced dead for, sitting there for 5 or 10 minutes, and let's just say this, for those of you that thought the heart maybe was the most important, let's think of it like this. If I show up and I have a brand new heart that was donated and it works 100%, no problems with it, if I put a brand new heart into that dead person, what's going to happen? Nothing. They're still dead. Same thing with the brain. Let's imagine that we could do a brain transplant right there on the scene. So this person's been dead for 5 or 10 minutes. I put a brand new brain into their head. What's still going to happen? Still nothing, because there is absolutely no power, nothing that can keep him alive. And so think of it like this circuit breaker here. This circuit breaker is a lot like your brain. It controls the power and it sends signals to and from my office to keep things on. Now let's just think about like this. If we point all the way up to the top here though, you'll see a bunch of bigger wires and more piping that is actually feeding in electricity from the outside. Without that electricity, nothing in my office works. If I were to go out back and throw the switch, it doesn't matter how well my circuit breaker works, there's still going to be no energy that comes into my office. And so if all the energy in my office was to go off and all the lights and everything stopped working, if the problem was at the circuit breaker and I replaced the circuit breaker, it might start working again. But if the problem is actually the energy is gone, something happened outside, maybe a power line went down or Comcast shut down the area for work reasons. It doesn't matter about if I replace my circuit board or repair it. That power is still not coming back in. Just like your brain, once that power leaves your body, it is gone no matter how well your organs are working. And so I'd like to show you something else. So hang with me as we walk into another room. I'm going to take you on a little trip here. So to finish up my point about a circuit breaker and how that relates to chiropractic in your spine, well, behind me on the wall, you may notice that we have a picture of your spine. And if you actually look at a spine with the nerves coming out of the spinal cord, it looks a lot like a circuit breaker like we have in the back. And so just like the circuit breaker, I throw one switch, it might affect the lights in the front or the back or in the bathroom. This is what happens with your spine. Every single one of these nerves that come off your spinal cord go to a different area of your body. Sometimes these nerves, they go to your heart. Sometimes they branch out and go to your lungs. They go to your digestive organs. Even other times they just come out to your neck and control all of your muscles in your arms and hands and make sure you have sensation and feeling in your arms and hands or down in the legs, feet to toes. And so just like a circuit breaker, if there's a problem, if I turn off one of the switches in the back, it affects the electricity in the front. Well, if there's a problem in your spine pinching a nerve, it's going to affect where that nerve travels to in your body. And so going back into what's the most important thing in your body, obviously the brain is highly, highly important. I would never argue that with anybody. But if you do not have the power flowing from your brain down to your body parts and to your organs, essentially it's just a piece of tissue sitting in between your skull. If there's no power in there, then nothing else even matters. And so looking at this diagram, our brains are sitting on the top part of right in our skull, right on the top part of our vertebrae. And then we have the spinal cord coming down the back and these nerve roots. So every single day, for everything you do, whether you're sleeping or whether you're up working or you're resting, watching TV, playing sports, no matter what you're doing, every minute of the day, every second of the day, your brain is sending signals down the spinal cord through the nerves to your body parts, and then your body parts are sending signals back up, and it's always a transfer of energy. It's always electrical signals going to and from, relaying constantly all day long. And so as a chiropractor, how do I keep people healthy? What do we want to do? We want to make sure that that power inside of your body is being sent to and from your brain at 100%, making sure that every single organ is getting 100% of the signals from your brain, and that your organs can then send the signal back to your brain at 100%. So we want absolutely no damage, and we want no interference to any of the nerves. We want a clear nerve signal getting to and from your body part so that that electricity, that power that's keeping you alive right now, can flow above, down, and inside out at 100%. And so, again, I thank you very much for watching these videos. If a comment comes up or a question comes up, again, leave it at Facebook, put it on YouTube, email us at trinitychiropracticmn@gmail.com, and we look forward to doing another episode next week. Thank you.